The British High Commissioner arrived in the region in the company of high-value officers at the Commission. Madam Harrieta's arrival in the region coincided with a flood disaster that killed 8 people and destroyed several properties. The High Commissioner was also in the region at a time of increasing concerns about the threat from violent extremists and other security concerns owing to the recent repatriation of some Burkinabe nationals in the region and the escalation of violence in Boko. Her first port of call was the office of the regional minister at the regional coordinating directorate in the capital, Nalergu. The regional minister and his senior staff at the RCC received the commissioner and her delegation.
It's an honor to have a person of your caliber taking time off your heavy schedules to call on the people of the Northeast region. But just to let you know that this is quite a very young region with a lot of challenges in our pursuit for development. It is because of those challenges that the people and the chiefs ask for the region, so that if we decentralize power closer to the people, we may be able to better prosecute our development agenda.
A PowerPoint address of the situational report of the region was then presented to the commissioner and her delegation. The commissioner, while explaining the reason for the visit, extended her condolences to the victims of the recent flood disaster.
I'm sorry to be coming at such a difficult time for this region. My heartfelt condolences, those of my staff, my team as well, on the loss that you have experienced as a result of the recent floods, the loss of life, of course, but also the loss of livelihoods.
From the coordinating directorate, the regional minister led the High Commissioner to the palace of the traditional authority in line with the established protocols. Her Excellency, after being welcomed by the Nairi and his elders, said her visit to the region was among others to ensure maximum impact of their work across human and economic development, peace, security and stability.
We recognize that the northern regions of Ghana experience more difficult, more challenging human development outcomes and less economic development than the rest of Ghana.
She added that her visit was in line with her responsibilities to strengthen and move forward the relationship between Ghana and Great Britain.
As the High Commissioner to Ghana from the UK, my responsibility is to strengthen that relationship still further and to move it into the future. For me to be able to do that properly, I need to understand the whole of the country, not just sit in Accra and think that Accra is Ghana.
The Overlord, Nabahaga Abdullahi Mahami Shariga, expressed his gratitude for the visit, but also acknowledged and praised the warm relationship between the two nations. The Nairi, however, made several requests for assistance, including scholarship program for students in his jurisdiction and relief items for victims of the recent flooding in the region. The High Commissioner's visit to the region also came as police are investigating the killing of a 60-year-old woman in connection with witchcraft accusations in the Yunyu Naswani district. From the Nairi, the High Commissioner ended her visit at the Gambaga Witches Camp, where she interacted with and donated food items to the inmates.
We want to make it clear to Your Excellency.
But before her interaction with the inmates, the High Commissioner visited the caretaker of the camp, the chief of Gambaga and his elders.
That the Gambarana does not go hunting for witches or dragging them to come here. The Gambarana rather serves as the director of a resettlement area. So this is a resettlement camp and not a witch camp.
The palace, however, called for adequate education and sensitization before the passage of the bill.
Nobody is against the law, but we know that there may be certain consequences behind it unless there is an in-depth education that will extend to the rural areas. Otherwise, in fear that when they declare anybody a witch, they will be arrested and maybe be sentenced. They may lynch them without the knowledge of anybody.
The High Commissioner, speaking to the inmates, said her office will continue to work with local partners to ensure their rights and dignity were respected.
We are happy that this law has been approved by Parliament that will stop people from being accused of witchcraft, because we don't want other people people to be treated the way that some of you have been treated. Human rights are as important as anybody else's human rights. And so we will continue to work with Somtaba and with other people in Ghana who are supporting you to make sure that those human rights are respected and those of your children and your children's children.
Ilyas Sutanko from Nalerigo for Joy News.